Hello and welcome to this course on usually. We are understanding the hotel's financial statements with respect to usually standard. Usually, as you know already now, stands for Uniform System of Accounting. We were discussing the rooms division section, and we have covered so far the revenue market segment for transient, i.e. FIT guest, transient market segment for groups, other revenues, and some other considerations. So we have finished the revenue section. Now in this section, we are going to talk about the expenses. Expenses are divided into two parts. Well, before we move forward in expenses, we have three parts to cover in goods division, which is revenue, expense, and operating statements. Some additional reports and some additional statements which helps to understand the profit and loss statement in much more detail. So we will be covering that after a short while. So now let us continue with the expenses. So in usually all the departments, rooms, F&B, and every else, is divided into two major part of expense. One is labor cost, another is the normal operating cost. In hotels, since the labor cost is the largest part of of our expenses, which was we are run by humans, and human cost us money. So the labor is divided into so the total cost is divided into labor cost and non-labor cost. The labor cost has further been divided into some categories, which you will see now on the screen, which shows you that the labor cost is basically total labor cost, which is called salary, wages, and service charge, plus the non payroll related expenses and some other contract labor costs and other. So primarily, the labor cost in rooms division is divided in salary wages is divided into two parts. One is called management and one is called non-management. And complementary food and non-management is further divided into complementary F&B, front office, guest services, housekeeping, laundry, reservations, and transportations. Because they are all part of the rooms division, rooms service center. In many hotels, laundry is a separate profit center where we are charging the money to the guests, and we are selling the laundry to the outside customers as well. In that case, laundry cost will go to the laundry department, will not come to the rooms division. Similar way, transportation also sometimes is a separate cost center. So transportation, salary related to transportation cost, which is a part of the profit center, will go to the profit center. However, if there are certain drivers which are just only related with the non profit center of the rooms department, then it will come into the transportation. For example, free shuttle. So if there is something like that, then the transportation guys will be covering under the rooms revenue. They will not be separate. They will not be treated as a separate department. So why do we separate between the management and non-management? The reason why we are splitting the management and non-management is because management is usually covering the entire operating section of the room. They may be doing the front office, they may be looking after guest services, they may be looking after housekeeping, laundry. Only the guest touch points like supervisors and below are put as non-management, and they are separated into each and every department, so that it's easy to compare how the hotel has been structured in compared to previous year, compared to budget, and what is actually being done. And when you are comparing the hotels with different size, different facilities, it's easy to understand and easy to compare the profitability of rooms department with the others. Maybe somebody don't have a laundry department. Maybe somebody don't have a transportation department. So the labor cost will be different. But if you combine them all together, there is no way you can analyze it separately. So in order to make it separate and analyze it in a better way, we normally have a separate section so that it's easy to understand. So this we will be learning the definition of what goes into complementary F&B in a bit details. Let us understand the structure first. So the second part of the labor cost is going to be the service charge distribution. Service charge distribution in IFRS, as per IFRS 15 and as per IFRS, and many gaps, general accepted accounting principles. When the hotel is collecting the service charge, and the service charge is not discretionary for the guest to pay, but it's mandatory to pay, that will form part of revenue. But in those hotels, the service charge is distributed 100% or 90% or sometimes 50%, depending on the hotel policy or country practice. They are returned to the staff. So in that case, the the service charge which is distributed to the staff will be separated out as a service charge distribution. Now, why is it not merged with the salary? The reason, because service charge is different in every month. So it's easy, it will not be easy to compare the basic salary with the previous month, or with the budget with the last year, if we are combining it together with the salary. So salary remains fixed. So it's easy to compare and understand, is there any extra person or is there not extra person. If we separate it out, it's easy, right? And we can understand why the service charge, and service charge is normally related with the revenue. So higher revenue means higher service charge, means higher expense. So that's where service charge distribution is separated out. Next line here is contract, lease, and outsourced labor. We will learn that bonus, and then you get the total salary and wages. After that, you have a separate section for payroll benefit, payroll expenses, which covers for payroll taxes, usually for expatriate staff. Then you have supplemental pay in case you are paying anything extra, overtime or other things. And then you have employee benefits. Supplemental pay may include incentives as well. Employee benefits are usually the non-cash benefit which are paid to the employees, or sometimes cash allowances for meal, for ferry, for housing and other things. So we're going to be learning that in more details, what is covered in those sections. And then the total labor cost is arrived at. Once we know the tax, then the second part of the expenses, as we discussed earlier, apart from labor, is non-labor cost. So the non-labor cost in the hotels is a lot of lines here. You will see cleaning supplies, cluster services, commission and fee, group complimentary food and beverage, and all complimentary lines. So lot of things. We will gonna be looking at it in a bit details one by one in a short while, where we will be giving you the definition and will be explaining you what goes in these lines. So stay calm. Then you have total expenses, and then you finally get a departmental profit. Usually the hotels have additional statistics after this. It's not up to this only. You will have ADR, RevPAR, per occupied room cost separately. So the structure of the P&L may be slightly different from hotel to hotel, group to group, chain to chain. However, the essential information will remain the same. So you may find the templates are slightly different, because these are standard template prescribed by usually, but your hotel may be following a bit of different platform, different template. So you don't have to worry about it. The definitions will remain the same. The calculations will remain the same, and the way to analyze it remains the same. So in the next videos, we're going to be learning more about detailed definition of these expenses.